Another little video about PAT testing today. I did one the other day showing a yellow PAT tester, a Robin Smart test, and it's a nice little tester, absolutely lovely condition, but you've got to have a certain amount of knowledge to use it, because when you press the various test buttons it gives you readings. When you want to take an insulation reading, it tells you how many megohms the reading is. So you have to have a certain knowledge as to what suitable pass and fail limits are. There's a whole other breed of PAT tester around, which I'm going to show now, which are for people to use in an office environment, for instance, that don't necessarily have any electrical knowledge. It's a simple little press button and it will say pass or fail. The one I've got has got quite a few buttons on it. You can get some with even less buttons, but we're going to talk about that. And this particular one came in for repair, and it had a built-in clock because it can print out all the tests with the date that you do them. And the clock had a little battery, as we have a bit bigger than we have in a wristwatch, but one of these little tiny button cells that we're used to in a lot of things these days, which seemed a simple little job. I opened the device up and there was a button cell inside it, and I got my pliers on it and pushed and pulled and tugged and went blue in the face, and it wouldn't come out. I could see this little button cell between these two pieces of metal, and I just expected it to slide out and I could slide another one in, job done. But oh no, not that easy. What they had done, they'd got these little wire bracket to hold the button cell. They'd slid the button cell into it and then spot welded it electrically into place, so there was no way you could take it out. The only way to replace it would be, presumably, to go through to the manufacturer and buy a new battery spot welded into this little bit of metalwork. And I don't know if they'd even sell me one, because some of these manufacturers of equipment like this have a habit of saying, oh no, you've got to send it back to us to be checked and certified and goodness knows what. So that went. And this, apparently, according to the instructions, this battery should last 5 years. So it's a lithium battery, lithium cell, 5 years use. So what I've done is replaced it with the same voltage, again using lithium cells, but 2 of these. So if that little one lasted 5 years, 2 of these in an appropriate holder, well, it's going to last forever, isn't it? So that's what I've done. I've replaced the little tiny lithium button cell with 2 lithium AAAs, and it's now working fine. So we're going to do a couple of little tests now to show what's going on. This testing with these things, it's not entirely hit and miss. I don't want you to just put a battery in and hope for the best, because you get a little box, precision boxes for testing these things, which contain precision resistors, very, very precision, calibrated at certain values, and then you can check your PAT tester with one of these calibration boxes. The various manufacturers make them. This one is branded as Ethos, but you also get the exact identical unit branded with other brands of PAT tester. They just put a different label on them. Seaward is one I've seen, and it's the identical unit. And then this has details on it as to when it was checked, its calibration. The actual calibration is written down as to what they get with the resistors. So although it might be a 1 megohm resistor, it says here it's 0.99 of a megohm and things like that on the back of it. and you can have these calibrated, although I don't know what you can calibrate. If it's only a resistor, I don't know what there is to calibrate, but it's all money, isn't it? It's all big business. Send it in to be calibrated. So you get one of these boxes with these precision resistors in it, and you have one of these test leads, the usual IEC test lead, but in this case it's an extremely short one, so that it's going to have very, very little resistance, and this is used for many purposes with these meters, knowing that you've got a known good IEC test lead of a low resistance. So what we do now, we will do an insulation test. We'll plug that into there. We'll plug it into the tester where it says mains lead, there, IEC mains lead. We could do it that way, or we could do it the other way. It makes no difference really. We'll do it the other way, so it's more like an appliance. We'll put the IEC lead in the bottom there. Now it's more like an appliance that we're testing, and we'll plug it in to the PAT tester. There we go. Now on this PAT tester we've got a button there marked insulation, so let's check it. We'll press the insulation and I'll talk you through it. It says manual test ready. It will do a full automatic test of everything, but we're doing a manual test. Insulation. It says the insulation limit is set at 7 megohms, and it's a class 2 device. We can set it class 1 or class 2. Class 1 is if you've got an earth, but we haven't on this device. It doesn't really matter. So press this execute. Warning, 500 volts. Connect the wandering earth. Well, we're not going to connect the wandering earth because it's not an earth device. So we'll press this. Insulation testing, megohms, and it comes up straight away. Insulation fail, 2 megohms. So it's as simple and straightforward as that. One button to press and it said it failed. So we know that it's working, it's doing its job, because it detected a faulty low insulation, which is what this simulates, this box, and it's failed. So we've tested that. Okay, now take that out and we'll test something else. Now this is scary. I bought something on eBay recently, an electric gadget, and it came with this lead. This is what was on it. So I'm now going to plug this lead in, and we're going to do a lead test, cord test. Press the button marked cord test. It says you can manually set it. It's set at a certain current and a certain value of ohms. So that's it, class 2. Press the execute button. Connect the cord, then press execute. Well, I've already connected it. Polarity testing. It's quite a slow tester, this. So it would take a while to do a full test on something, and it's just saying polarity testing at the moment, and then it will change over to say it's testing insulation testing. So it's tested the polarity. It's now saying insulation testing, which is of course putting 500 volts down the device. Again, taking a while. Come on. Oh, I could go and have a cup of tea while it's doing this, couldn't I? But of course it's polarity is okay, and insulation was okay. Everything's tested. Now it's saying press execute for earth test. So we'll now check the earth continuity. Press that. It's testing the earth now, to make sure that the earth connection is working on this particular lead. and it says no earth. So there we are, it's a faulty lead, no earth. So that is quite frightening in a way, that I bought this device on eBay, something, we don't even need to go into what it was, and it came with this power lead. Well, you expect that it's okay, because of course I plugged it in, switched it on, and everything worked. So I was quite a happy chappy, my eBay bargain was working. But it seems that the actual earth on this lead, the earth pin, is not connected through on the lead. So if this was if this gadget that I'd bought happened to have a metal case or something that needed earthing, I could have ended up electrocuting myself. So I was really surprised there, because you just took it for granted. Plug it in, switch it on, it works. And yet there we are. PAT testing, there's no earth. So it's actually done some good. So this is the little Metrohm business equipment safety tester, they call it. It doesn't have the feature that the Robin one has for plugging in 110 volt equipment, because this is designed specifically for business equipment, so you wouldn't have 110 volt business equipment. Print a little serial connector, so it will print it all out, print all your tests out. You can also print out barcodes with it and stick them on the devices, and then you can have a barcode scanner connected to it, and before you test every item you can scan the barcode into the machine, and then at the end of the day it will give you a full printout of all the items, what they were and all about them. So there we are, quick little demonstration of the Metrohm PAT tester.